Well, this is a little bit strange, but so this is my my Ghetto Fabulous steam bending rig. Can't really see whether I can see me, but so got a 5-gallon bucket with a 110 volt 2000 watt water heater heating element. I don't like where the switch is. I'm going to move that, so pay no attention to the safety hazards that there are here. I am aware of them, but I've got my 3 strips of good maple in there right now, steaming away. I'm going to try to lock that down a little more so it stops dripping on my switch area. But it's in there. It's just a piece of 4-inch ABS strapped to some plywood for a little bit better bending support. There's a 1/2-inch hole drilled in this end to alleviate pressure and to let the condensation run out, which may need to get tipped a little bit higher, it seems. And then there's a conduit bib here. Basically, it's one of those for flex hose, or for flex conduit, flex line conduit, and then just a cheap hose. So it's a pretty basic operation. We'll show you the inside. There's a little bit of a rack system going on inside that keeps all of the strips from touching one another. But I figured I'd take a quick shot of the ghetto rig that it is. It's holding. 5-gallon bucket seems to be holding up okay to the heat. I wasn't sure if it was going to like that or not. If it doesn't, I'll get a metal trash can instead. But I had a bucket, so I thought, what the hell, we'll try a bucket. So anyway, that is the prep for steam bending now. So there we are. All right, we've had the stuff in the steamer about 25 minutes. It's 3 layers of 16-inch thick wood, so it should be plenty steamed now. I'm just looking around, making sure I've got clearance room to do because I got to get in here. I got to get the very hard bend first, and then I can wrap it around the rest of it and hopefully not wreck anything. So I think we're ready. I'm going to get my gloves and my channel locks. And there it is. That was the exact opposite of what I would call fun. It did work, I think. We'll be okay. I'm just going to get a clamp on here to kind of help mush on this a bit more, just to get it around. So 2 big things. No exploded grain, which is awesome. Right here was where I was expecting, or down inside of here. But it did all right. I think I needed to leave it in a little bit longer. It wasn't dripping and it wasn't scorching hot. Excuse me, I'm out of breath. And as much time as it took to fiddle around, I would have liked to have seen it a bit hotter, I think, which we'll do the next time, because I have to do this twice. There's a few spots where it didn't seat quite as well as I would have liked, but the first bend the initial bend is fine. We're just getting a rough shape. It's a lot better than my hot pipe attempt was. So we're doing improvements here. Incremental improvements are going on. So the second thing is that right down in here, this super tight bend, we're not getting as good a contact as I would have liked. I think there were 2 causes for that. One, not hot enough. And 2, my little cutout dealie is not quite, didn't quite fit in there well enough, so I didn't bother with it. And it's just, I think mostly it's a heat thing. I think it'll be okay though. It's not off by much. It'll be a little bit off, but I think once the glue goes on after this, it will look a bit better. It'll come out a bit better. So I think we're good here though. Mostly, I got all of it. There's very little gap. The biggest thing here is that the 3 layers are a good match for one another. They are layered well. I think on the next half, I have to cut some more. I have to cut out some more wood. On the next side, the other half of this, I will. I'll leave it in a lot longer. 20 minutes was not quite enough, I don't think. Even though it was only 3 16th-inch thick strips, I think it could have done well to have had another 20 minutes or so. But we got one side bend going. We'll do a glue up eventually, but first I'll cut out some more maple and get us a still out of breath. Cut out a couple more strips of maple and for the inner plies. I've got another pretty piece laying. I've got one uncut pretty piece, so we'll take that one. I'll use it, and I'll take the I'll take some extra strips of maple I've got over there. I won't even have to sand anything. I just need to cut it to width, and we'll get them in the box. So we're gonna take this one out. It's probably gonna spring back like a mother, which is no shock because that's how steam bending does work. It does spring back pretty heavily. So that's just the way it works. So we'll I've got the steamer going again. I've got my slices ready to go for when it's time to go into the steamer. And I got my channel locks for when it's time to come out of the steamer. And my gloves because I've already burnt my fingers, which is hot. Steam's hot, folks. Hey, guess what? When you apply heat to something, this magical thing occurs. I don't know if you know this. When you apply heat to something, it gets hot. And now we've got all this tension built up, so I'm gonna get these rubber bands off while I wait for the while I wait around for the steaming rig to get steamy enough. Okay, so you can see it's not super bent, but it's bent enough. It will actually bend beautifully when everything goes in. I'm looking around to make sure everything bent nicely enough. And I see no cracking, no checking, no indication of anything coming apart. So I'm pleased by that. We're quite happy with this. I'm gonna go throw these other sticks in the steamer now and have them ready. Have them boil away. So. There we are. I don't know how long that took. It felt fast. So we're going to let this one cool. I don't know if I'm going to be getting anything into glue tonight. I'd like to, but this needs to cook for a little while. A couple more hours. Whew, that was fun. Okay, so we're ready to start applying some glue. So there's 3 layers. And I'm going to apply the glue to this inside layer and set this on top of it. And then I'll do the outer pretty layer. And then I'll set that on top like that. And then we run over real quick and try to get this thing to clamp. somehow, by some miracle. We're going to find out just how feasible this whole game is here. I'm not sure if I'm going to like a brush or the brayer for this. I think the brayer. We'll try. We'll find out. Here we go. No turning back now. Here we go. Prepare for the mess. Off to the clamps we go. That's pretty well bound. It's gonna dry solid, that's for sure. No doubt. No doubt. It may have a lot of rubber bands stuck to it while it's there, but it's good. Alright. That's glued up. Alright, it's the next day. Welcome back. It's now Monday night. And we're gonna see how well this glue up has done. We'll start with taking off the clamp here, and that's encouraging already because the clamp was keeping this tight, and it's pretty much staying there now, so that's a good sign. So we're gonna try to strategically remove this again. This is always a fun part. Well, you can see it right there. Oop, we got a little bit of gluey. There we go. That's completely clear. That holds pretty well. So I'm going to say very nearly. Got a tiny gap right there, but I think we can deal with that. That won't be a big problem. So we've got us a pretty darn solid guitar shape here. It's going to need some work on the outer edge to get all the glue squeeze out, but I think the next one I'll do is try to get something to keep that from happening too much. We'll see if I can figure something out there, maybe a strip of fabric or some tape or something. A strip of plastic would be great. That would be ideal. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. That is one half of my ES-335 right there. It's got there's a bit of a gap right here, but I'm gonna work out a way to resolve that. Otherwise, it's relatively solid all the way around. In fact, it is solid everywhere else. I'm gonna call that a reasonably successful bend, and something to keep track of on the next bend, which is about to start. So what I'll do is get this, maybe a little bit of cleanup here, maybe not much, and then get the second side ready for bending. We'll get that in the clamp tonight. Cool, I like it. Came out pretty good. Well, shit. Again, I neglected to hit record, but the second side is now glued in. I feel like I got a better, I think I got a better clamping this time. I opted to not bother trying to keep glue off the top surface because a layer of plastic slipping around up there did not appeal to me. But I did have some benefit. I took the rubber bands and I combined them in a string type of thing, like that, and just strung a bunch of them together. My wife is paging me for dinner, so. But this helped a lot because it could go around each peg really fast. Anyway, it's in. We'll see it in the morning or tomorrow afternoon. Okay, so it's been the next day because I forgot to hit record when I glued it up, but we've got the second side done. Here's the first side, looking like a guitar shape, really. And now we'll pull this one out of the clamps. This one sprung back less. It mates very well as opposed to this one, which mates pretty well, but it sticks out a bit here. So I feel like the second glue up was a bit better, but it's fine where it matters. So we've got ourselves pretty much a guitar shape. Cool. So my next steps, well, I have to decide what my next steps are. I haven't yet. I think my next steps are going to be to get the center block of maple chosen and cut out, because that will allow me to glue the sides together. I still need to get some mahogany for the end, so it's a little bit strange. So let's say this is the guitar. Down the middle, let's see if I can do this semi-accurately. No, I cannot. So, kind of like this. Down the center is a 4-inch wide block of maple, but at the end where it hits the butt of the guitar, the heel, is a strip of mahogany that is shaped for that curve. So I need a little bit of that to be correct, to be period correct. And when I get some mahogany, that'll be what I use there. I have a little, but I don't think it's thick enough. So I'm working to do a little horse trading with my lutherie instructor. Maybe he's got some. If not, I have friends I can buy some from. So yeah, overall I'm very pleased. I have some bent pieces now. The next steps are to get that center block and get some mahogany. All in all, came out very well. If a gluey mess, but yeah, in the end, pretty happy. Came out pretty good. Looks a bit like a guitar now. Excellent.